Okay, hang on.
Okay.
All right, my name is Lawrence Sinclair. I'm with the LS News Group, located out of Daytona Beach. Standing outside the Stevens Convention Center, Rosemont, Chicago, CPAC, Chicago. What are you doing out here protesting CPAC? Why?
Because we feel that their agenda will not work for the 99%.
Have you been inside and talked with anyone or listened to anyone?
I have talked to other people who have been to other CPAC things, like in Washington, D.C. Their agenda will not work for the 99% because, for one, they want to cut Social Security. They want to put the Social Security on Wall Street. That will not work. Medicare, they want to make a voucher program. How are you going to make that? Let's say somebody has a heart attack. How are you going to pay for that?
Okay, can I ask, I'm curious, what I hear you saying are more talking points from the Ryan budget.
It's not the Ryan budget.
Than from CPAC.
It's not the Ryan budget. Corporations are not people either.
Okay, but who, did CPAC say that corporations were people, or did Mitt Romney say it?
Mitt Romney.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you.
And the whole Citizens United said that too.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if you do your research, Social Security has a surplus.
Here,
Okay.
right here. Huge surplus.
And
they want to put that money into the stock market, into the casino that we know as Wall Street. We have paid over and over again for the excesses of Wall Street. We have lost value in our houses. We have lost our 401ks. We have lost so much. People are losing their jobs all the time. And they want to take more and more and more. I'm wondering how much money is enough for these big corporations.
Okay. Again, I don't take this the wrong way, but I'm curious. I understand what you're saying, and I understand where a lot of this is coming from.
I also want to point out.
Okay.
Okay, let him finish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm curious, where does this become CPAC's agenda? Because I've covered CPAC in D.C. in February. I'm covering CPAC in Chicago, and I think, this is just my opinion, I think people are confusing CPAC with the GOP and the RNC, because CPAC actually brings a whole bunch of different groups together.
We like transparency of those groups. That is one of the things that we're very interested in.
Okay. I'm going to try to help you with that. I'm actually going to give you,
Oh, thank you very much.
and you will actually be able to see every group, every sponsor, because what I think is important, you're right, people have an opinion. You guys feel that, you know, the Ryan budget, for whatever purpose, whether it's Medicare, Social Security, is wrong. That's fine. I'm just trying to get people to understand or explain to me where the connection with CPAC is.
Well, so many of their policies are, they're giving all the benefits to the wealthy, all the tax breaks. The corporations don't pay taxes. Wealthy people don't have to pay as much a percent of taxes as we do. We pay 100% of our salary towards Social Security and everything. But if you're wealthy, you might pay 0.00002% of your salary toward full Social Security benefits.
Right, and like my sister.
And the people that have no money are taking the biggest burden. Now, it used to be that you could have a job, you could stay there, you would have a retirement that was dedicated to you, you would have health care, and you gave your full allegiance to the company. Now, so many of our jobs have been outsourced that we don't even have jobs here. And the people they're hiring now, they opened a new coal store. They were hiring 131 part-time employees. How is anyone supposed to live on a part-time job with no health benefits? They're starving our population to death. You cannot get a job. My son's been out of college for 2 years. He cannot get a job. Thank goodness he can live with us. When I was his age, I had my own career already. Kids are coming out of school with horrible, huge student loans and no promise of anything. The promise is gone.
And I understand what you're saying, that it's not necessarily CPAC, that it's a bunch of different political entities and legislation. But my thing is, with CPAC, is the money that is spent in elections. The commercials that are put out there are very they're fraudulent, basically.
Okay,
And
would
everything.
would it be a fair question to ask what you find inappropriate based on, say, because you guys are the ones that mentioned Citizens United, so let's stick with that.
Oh,
What is
why
so
are you here?
what's so bad about what Citizens United does as opposed to what the DNC or Daily Kos does? Wouldn't it be better if people actually walked inside and talked and had a dialogue as opposed to everybody accusing one side of doing this
And that's
at the
true.
same
That's
time
the
at the
ideal.
same time that
That
the
is
other
the
side's
ideal.
doing the same
How
thing?
much are tickets to get in?
Actually, if you had pre-registered, it would have been $25. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay. I am for public financing of elections. That is I think we need to take the money out. I feel like my voice, has lost 75% of its value. I can't compete with the big money.
Right, and I think you guys have a point, and believe me, there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people on the conservative side of things that feels the same way you do.
Yeah.
But if we don't bring the two sides
You're
together
very
and
right.
talk about
But
it,
even our government now, the two sides couldn't be further apart. Obama has bent over backwards trying to work with people. And they have just shut him down. There's a bill that the 100% of the Republicans voted against, equal pay for women. Now what is wrong with that? How can anybody say that's wrong? And now there's a construction bill that's being held on the table. The Republicans will not vote for it because they want to fast forward the XL Keystone pipeline, which is a disaster for our country, going through aquifers, polluting our entire country. And this oil will not even go to us. This is oil that's destined for China.
And the
It's
job
not
creation.
even for us.
And
It's
the
not.
job creation is such a minimal number in the big scheme
Okay.
of things.
I don't
This
want
is
to.
why we're out here protesting.
Okay,
And every time the
You-
Republicans, they vote for big business. Big business does not need any more perks. The middle class is dying. The middle class is needy. 1/4 of our children live in poverty.
but do you also understand when you said that you want the money out of politics? You're for public funding of elections, but here's the problem. You said Obama's bent over backwards to work with people. It was Obama that in 2008 refused to go with public financing of elections. Is he
You know
going?
why? Because the competition had private funding. How are you going to win an election
You have to
unless it's
fight-
an even
Right.
field?
You
You
have to
can't
fight on
say,
even ground.
all right, our side will obey all the rules, but your side, your team, doesn't have to listen to any rules. Who do you think's going to win?
Right, absolutely.
It's just like Citizens United.
Fair for
When
everybody.
secret people, and we don't even know from any country, can put huge sums of money into our elections,
Right.
they are buying our country, and we are losing our voice.
Okay, do you have the same objections to Priorities USA?
Yes, public.
Because Priorities USA is no different than Citizens United,
Absolutely.
and it was started by Barack Obama's former Deputy Press
Well, I don't
Secretary
care
Bill
who started
Burton.
it, It's wrong.
Okay, so
We need fairness. That's
Right.
what we're asking for. We're not asking
Public
for a bill
financing.
fare or a free ride. We're asking for a chance at a job, to get a living wage. We need to have health care wherever it comes from. We don't need to be gouged by insurance companies. One medication I take, in 2 years, the price of it went up 72%. Do you think my income went up 72% in 2 years?
Right.
No, these are the things. We've lost our power. The corporations are running the show.
We want the America that we grew up in,
No.
basically.
No,
We
it's
don't
not.
want this.
People are sad. People are angry.
no, she said that's what you guys want.
Right. It's
Okay.
where we had opportunities to go to school. You know, I have an 11-year-old son. It's like, the reason I'm out here is because I'm very concerned about my son's future. with the present.
And that's why I asked the question. And please, if it feels like I'm badgering, I'm not trying to.
Okay,
That's why I asked the question, rather than stand outside saying that this is what CPAC is about. Why not actually participate,
Okay.
sit through the seminars, listen to the speakers, and actually come out with firsthand knowledge of what it's about?
We've heard so many of them on TV in their campaigns.
Right. You know what? I like Mrs. Bachman, excuse me. When you listen to her, she speaks over everybody. She doesn't answer questions, and she sticks on her same talking points. She's got them down pat. Got to give that to her. But it's like answer the question, please. It's like, these are your talking points. And I mean, a lot of times your talking points don't even apply to the question asked.
Yeah, you ask a question and you can.
Do you guys feel that Harry Reid or Nancy Pelosi or Barack Obama, do you feel that they answer the questions? Do you feel that they actually...
Oftentimes not. They do more so, I think, than some of the people that are present. But yeah, oftentimes not. It's not a Republican Democrat thing. We want our country. We're American citizens. We're American
We love our
citizens.
country. And I was never an activist till I saw the injustice going on. And this is why I'm out on the street. And I'm very scared for our country. I see it going the way of a third world country. We're just above Bulgaria when it comes to child poverty.
Right. Like the commercials where they take snippets of what people say and they take it out of context. That offends me horribly.
Yes.
Let's have an honest
debate.
Okay, and by saying that, again, you push me back to the same point. It's being done on both sides, so until we start holding both sides accountable,
It's true.
it's not going to change.
But we do have to get our voice out because I feel that people have lost their voice.
Okay.
Corporations are running everything and a few wealthy people on the top, and we are just little puppets now.
Would you like to say who you are? It's your choice.
It's just Occupy Barrington.
Right.
Occupy Barrington?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, if
All
I
right.
have to be in a,
I'll give you a card, actually, and I will give you the program for
thank you.
CPAC, and you can see exactly who's here, because a lot of the groups are actually locally here from within the Illinois area. Okay, you have the Illinois Review, you have the Illinois Policy Institute.
But I just feel our society has turned mean because we are giving these unbelievable tax breaks to people who are just making piles of money and don't know what they're going to do with it. When they're taking food stamps away from kids, they're taking health insurance away from people. In McHenry, Illinois, they just closed the biggest mental health facility. These people have nowhere to go. It's like the poor and the powerless are carrying the burden of this bad economy. And that should not be. That should not be.
These are the same companies that have been cutting, freezing wages, cutting benefits and everything because they're not making enough. It doesn't jive.
Well,
Okay,
it doesn't even come to that.
One more.
When you see the profit line, here's like the top wealthy ones. Here are the wages of the normal people.
Okay.
The other 99%.
back
Now,
to
is this
pensions.
right? Is that right?
Well,
No.
one more question, and then I'm going to have to get back in. When you talk about these corporations, do you have a problem with the fact that Apple, Microsoft,
Yes, I do.
GE,
Yes.
these are some of the biggest donors to the Democratic Party and Obama, and they've made record profits and paid absolutely
Because they
zero.
want something from him. They're
Okay.
getting tax breaks.
Right,
They're
right,
getting
and
their foot in the White House to be on the Jobs Committee.
And
You know, I respect you because you were honest enough to admit that. A lot of people with the Occupy movements
And you
around
know
the
what?
country won't do that.
We just redid our kitchen. I bought 3 GE brand new appliances. 2 have broken, and 1 has broken twice.
Well,
And they're making them, the ones that broke were made in Mexico. Why can't they make them here? And they say, oh, we make the products where the customers are. No, the customers are here.
we're still
make
a big buying
them
power.
here.
We're still a large number of
Yes.
big buying power in the
And that really makes me
global
angry.
economy.
Okay. So again, you are Occupy Barrington.
Yes.
Thank you for speaking with me.
Thank you.
All right.